My imagination saved me. I would try so hard to be prepared for every test, every quiz. I would study really hard, trying to memorize all the information they wanted me to, but for some reason I just couldn't give them the answers that they wanted. I couldn't function that way. I was living in a world of right and wrong, black and white, pass or fail. And as an artist, that just didn't make any sense to me. And I didn't know at the time, but because I couldn't be what they wanted me to be, I couldn't fulfill whatever it is they were trying to turn us all into, in a sense. My imagination became this supernatural power that I always had inside of me, but it grew and it got so strong. And I didn't know at the time, but eventually my imagination was going to be the thing that allowed me to set myself free. Necessity, need. At the time it felt like I was trapped, unable to escape, like a prison. And there was no hope or chance of parole, if you will, and it even felt like solitary confinement, because while there were other kids around me that were in my situation, there were other kids that were ADHD and dyslexic, it still felt like a very lonely experience. And so my imagination allowed me, thankfully, to cling on to something that allowed me to transport past space and time. Yes, while my body was on the ground inside those schoolhouse walls, my imagination had me up there in the sky, playing, singing, and dancing among the stars. No, absolutely not. We all possess this ability, and it can be as strong for me as anybody else. It just depends on how much you're accessing it. And to access it, I believe there are 3 ways to get yourself out of a bad situation. Like I said, a need. You have to go somewhere else because where you're at is so bad. And I'm not saying my situation was that. There are many worse situations, but a need to create anything we've ever seen in the world is coming from the imagination first. And third, boredom. Now that sounds funny, but boredom is crucial and essential to the imagination. And unfortunately for all of us, boredom is being wiped out of the human race as we speak. We don't have the opportunity anymore to nourish ourselves on the sweet juices and fruit of boredom. Boredom which led to painting cave walls, the invention of the wheel, building anything, all music ever created, the expression of dance. All of this came from boredom or a need to solve a problem, and those things came from our imagination. And if we are living in a world where boredom doesn't exist anymore, we're not going to access our imagination. And if we can't access our imagination, we're gonna stop evolving, or we're gonna not be human anymore. read, read, and read some more. And I know that sounds cliche, and I certainly wasn't good at reading when I was a kid. So I know that if I was hearing that, it would frustrate me because not everybody's good at that. And I will get into that in another time, my experience with all of that. But when you grow up and you realize that these are just limits you place on yourself, please take the opportunity to read as much as you can and write or draw or build with Legos, whatever it is that you love doing. That will access the imagination, writing music, dancing. And even if you only have 5 minutes in your day or 10, just spend time in your mind without any other stimulus, not your phone or not even a book. How silly is that right after what I just said? But just 5-10 minutes where you're just letting your mind play. Your mind is like a child. It wants to play. It wants to have a playground to go out on and have fun, just to entertain itself. And it can't do that if you're never giving it the opportunity to do so. So having that time in the day is crucial to letting your mind play, and you will be amazed with what comes out of it. I promise you. Thank you so much for having me. I so appreciate it. It's been awesome being here. Can I say one thing into the camera before we go? It's like me, you've experienced a time in your life where you felt trapped or unable to escape, and that feeling had you thinking that there was no way you were ever going to be able to escape that future or that fate because it felt like it was carved into stone, and so it felt really permanent. Well, I just want you guys, anybody listening to this, I want you to hear me when I say, while stone and marble and all of these things appear to be permanent if we carve into them, realize that you can continue to chip away. And if you continue to chip away at something, whatever it looked like before will start to take on a brand new shape.